All right, wonderful. We have another session of the Student Voice. And today I have the pleasure to have Amanda with us. Amanda, welcome to the Student Voice. Thanks for taking the time. Why don't you introduce yourself? What are you
Yeah, thanks.
studying and what university you're going for free?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tommaso. My name is Amanda. I am currently a third year computer science major at UCLA.
All right, go Bruin. My son is at UCLA. Amanda, what we do with our student voice is to provide the candid feedback about a physical digital dimension and that we are building with the objective to foster community in a more fun way, in a more way, a more authentic way, a way where the next generation feels more edified and joyful, and that by collaborating with others. First of all, Amanda, you are a part of our community, and I love early adopters and co-conspirators. Thank you so much. Your feedback, your contribution has been very, very much valuable. So my first question to you today is around the status quo, right? Over the last, obviously, 2 decades, we have been growing up with things such as social media, but that ultimately merged and became more things media than actually social. In short, we have evidence enough now that social media is really actually struggling when it comes to the essence of allowing others to be social, right? How has that impacted your life? What can you share with us, Amanda?
Yeah, so in terms of how I personally use social media, I feel like I definitely use it to view updates on influencers and artists I'm very interested in, but I personally don't use it to share as much of what's happening in my life as possibly some of my peers are. Because I see my peers posting about things that are happening in their day-to-day life, and I think some of them are definitely more comfortable than others with sharing, like, even the mundane things in their life. But I feel like for me personally, every single time I feel like I'm posting, I almost feel a pressure in a way to meet some sort of aesthetic that I see on, like, influencer pages and also some of my friends' pages. And so in that sense, there's times when I forget to post like a good photo that I've had, and I might feel like it's too late to post it later, so I end up not posting about it. Or even times when there are something that I want to post, if I just don't like the way that the photo turns out, I ultimately end up not posting it either.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's huge. So you used the word pressure, and now you said also that the eventual picture, the possible picture you're going to post, needs to have a certain layout. So and I have the feeling that it sounds more of vanity slash showing something that eventually might not be truly edifying, right? Because if
Yeah.
it's pressuring, it's not contributing in a positive way towards your well-being and how you feel. Is this kind of correct, or what are your thoughts there, Alan?
Yeah, I definitely feel like what I end up posting ends up being like something unique that happened the week rather than just something that's like regular that's happening all the time. And then it ends up only being like um, for special occasions rather than something that is should be integrated into my day-to-day life.
And Amanda, how is that creating a social environment?
Um, I think socially because like the way that I react to other people, it probably ends up creating some sort of feedback loop where everyone ends up holding themselves to somewhat equal standards. And so it just becomes harder and harder to attain those standards and get those like perfect shots like over time because everyone's seeing like the need to only post something that seems special and not something that's just regular in our day-to-day
I
life.
love it. I will love it. Thank you so much for sharing this. So you're basically here saying, use the word here, standards, right? So it's almost like, okay, this is what we can do. It's default, right? Everyone has a certain level of pathway that and contribution what we could do, which is the post and then the like and the comment, right? But
Yeah.
ultimately, it lacks something in order for you to truly socialize and to feel joyful and edified. Now, switching to what we are working on, right? So our mission at Phygital is to create an environment for the next generation to foster community. And we have learned that there are three main ingredients that help us foster that community. One is the next generation wants to be outside, right, but have also the benefits of the digital world. So two in one, physical, digital. That's the reason Phygital, right?
Yeah.
The second component that we have learned is that instead of, and you echoed that, right, instead of I like, I post, I comment, I share, which is draining, right? We have learned that it's all about helping to be and collaborate in groups, so that you have this feeling of belonging, feeling of being part of something, feeling towards contributing in a group rather than being in a spotlight and being pressured. That's the second ingredient. And the third ingredient is truly the fact of creating an environment that is creative and playful, right? So these are kind of the three ingredients that over the last year and a half we have learned. Now, you are obviously part of early adopter, VO1, VO2, VO3, right? What moment by using the application vyry, right? What moment has stood out when it comes to feeling of belongings, feeling of I accomplished something, I'm part of something that feels more of a community, Amanda? What can you share with the audience?
Yeah. So I feel like one thing that stood out to me with the graffitis and signals that you create for yourself, is that to share it with someone, you kind of need to go out into the physical world to do that. And I think on current social media, it definitely feels very digital and like you're trying to set a scene for something. But for Very, it's you have to go into somewhere in the real world and you can only place the things that you've currently created. And it's taking like with the graffitis and the signals, it's you're taking something that might be mundane and plain in your life, but you're able to put a creative twist and put them together to create something creative and then show it to the world and show them like what you've created. And in that sense, it feels like there's not really a pressure to create something because it's just taking what's currently around you and creating something new that you can show someone else. And like everyone might have like a different set of like things in their life that they just carry around them every day. And so they end up creating something different, but also something that might look similar and something that they can connect with each other about.
I love it. So a lot to unpack. I'm kind of here that chewing on every single word. So one, you said you go outside, right?
Yeah.
So then you also mentioned the fact that creatively, and because of creatively, use the word no pressure, right? So
Yeah.
it's alleviating, right? So if it's no
Hmm.
pressure, it's would you say it's at ease, it flows, right? It's
Yeah.
smooth, right? And then you said that you want to once you share that and you make available to others, there is a kind of a matchmaking with others that have similar things, right? So
Yeah.
on one hand, outside, on the other hand, it's at ease, right? It's not pressure, and then meeting like-minded, right? Why would you say that going outside is important, Amanda?
I think one thing about current social media is that you feel like a sense of like doom scrolling and like just like seeing things that are online and just continuing to scroll over time. But with Very, it's about like in order to share it with the world, you kind of need to like go place it somewhere in that real world. And so to place in the real world, you need to go outside in that sense because and then it also like helps to create a sense of community within like school campuses also because I think that it's something that a lot of students can use to socialize between them more, especially after a post-COVID environment where we've been inside for so long, and it helps people to just communicate more freely.
Hmm. Do you think that the fact of you having the best of both worlds, the inside and the outside, like the outdoor and the digital in one, how does that phenomenal contribute towards your feeling, towards your mood, towards your mental well-being? What do you sense there, Amanda?
Yeah, so I feel like getting the chance to like go outside, but like while sharing something that you create like digitally just allows like a broader like sense of impact of what you're creating. Because I think when you just post something online, you're probably not seeing the people that could possibly interact with a post that you're making in a traditional social media. But very like when you're going outside to post it, you kind of like see strangers that can possibly interact with it, and you definitely feel more sense of closeness with the community in that sense, because you know that, oh, people who are going near this place that I've gone, like if they have the app, potentially they're like interacting with something that I've created, and you know that they're gonna like be interacting with it.
Very interesting. Thanks for sharing. Take the audience into the perspective and the understanding slash maybe the alignment of our manifesto. Right? You have gone through the manifesto. It's we are not just building it for students on campus, but with students who are with campus. Again, thank you for being part of it. Right? Humbly learning one chat at a time. Right? We're truly doing something new, a physical digital interaction. No one has done it yet before, right? What resonates with you, Amanda, when you have read our manifesto?
Yeah, I think the biggest vision that resonated with me was like the goal of just bringing a new app that can merge the digital and physical world. I feel like it's something that I haven't seen as much, like because I've definitely experienced like the Pokemon Go game, but that one definitely feels more like digital because the things that we're collecting are like the Pokemon characters. But in Very, it's more about collecting and finding things that we find in the real world. So I feel more of a sense of like to the physical world, and I'm seeing things that I see like every day in my life, but shown in a very creative and new way artistically from how people like view it themselves.
So meaning the fact that you are able of converting your everyday objects and environment into something that is creative and collaborative gives you a feeling that you are actually the narrator of that storyline that you actually are
Yeah,
about to create, right? Would you does it resonate with you? Is this kind of the direction, Amanda?
yeah.
All right. That's beautiful. And how would you describe to your younger sibling or to your grandparents when they say, "Wait a second, Amanda, you're part of this community, and you have been talking about physical, digital," and they ask you, "What is it?" Like, how would you describe that, Amanda?
Yeah, I would describe it as like an app where basically every single time you go outside, it's almost like a treasure hunt where you're trying to find something new and unique. And every single time you'll find something like you'll find something that's different every single time because you'll find a new creative graffiti that someone leaves behind. And I think it's something that can bring our family like closer together because we can go out and explore together to find these new graffitis every single time. Like time we go somewhere new, but also like even if we're staying in a local place that we've been for so long, there will still be something new when we go outside, and it won't be just the same trip to like the park every day that we do.
All right, all right. I love it. So it's creating, fostering community by creating the unimaginable, and by seeing what the eye doesn't see. And that is Amanda. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah.
Appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much for being part of the community. And for the audience here, vyry.world. If you want to be part of the early adopters, feel free to join our Discord. And yeah, very very happy to uh, learn from you. Thank you so much, Amanda. I'll see you in the video world. Bye.